Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing another episode of colonizing the entire solar system in update 30 of Universe Sandbox. So if you've not seen the last episode, definitely go ahead and check it out. As we started at Mercury, we got all the way out to Ceres, so we have covered the entire inner solar system already, so they are all nicely colonized now. But just a quick recap, we'll quickly go over all of the objects. So Mercury here, still sitting at a nice 12 degrees here. It's looking very, very nice indeed. It's got its more, it's got some snowy areas, got obviously some greeny, planty looking areas there. Also got some city lights to boot with it as well. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with the way Mercury came out. It's only got low stats, but it is a lot smaller than Earth. And it is a lot closer to the sun, so we had to do some different things with its atmosphere to sort it out there. But there is Mercury, so yeah, I'm very, very pleased with the way Mercury turned out actually. So there it is in more slow motion. So yeah, that's a good one. I really did like the way Mercury came out. So there it is. Also got a north and south pole that has developed as well since we last checked it out. So there's Mercury. Moving on to Venus. So where it is. So here we are. So Venus over here. So it still keeps its clouds because it is Venus after all. So it's always going to have its more thick clouds. If we look underneath, so that's what it looks like underneath. So it's got more ocean heavy sort of levels to it, but yeah, still got some nice green land to go with it as well, and obviously a blue atmosphere. But yes, Venus, it's always going to be quite a cloudy one. So that is how we have envisioned it here. If we look underneath as well, north and south poles to rock with it as well. Got a few higher elevation areas too. So overall, yeah, really liking the way Venus looks. I think I want to say this needs to be just a tad more pale. The green, I think it was too dominant, so I'm going to go more to something like that. So there we go, just a minor adjustment. But yeah, there is Venus, so keeping its thick clouds. Also got some city lights on it as well. I think they're a little harder to spot because of the clouds, but also because Venus has got heavy ocean levels. So yeah, there is Venus. And now moving on to the Earth system, obviously Earth, where are we? Comes out the box, colonized, because it's Earth. So Earth has obviously already got its perfect stats. But the moon, if we head to the moon, if we can spot the moon, that would be useful as well. There it is there. And here it is. So if you remember with the moon, we couldn't actually add water to it. So we had to add what appears to appear as water, but it's actually just a coloured surface. But yeah, there's the colonised moon. It's currently at 50 degrees though, so we can't be having that. So we actually need to cool her down just a tad bit. So let's increase that albedo up to 0.15. I think the moon does really need to cool down from 50.8. I mean, that's a pretty deadly amount of heat there. So there we are. And then lastly, moving on to Mars. This one is my favourite. This is easily the coolest look on, but oh, I love it. It looks so good. So there's colonized Mars. So it's still got its sort of reddish look to the surface. It's got a bit of red going on, but obviously slightly more green to it. It's still got its original more reddish atmosphere to go with it as well. And then a slightly different shade of ocean colour as well, so Mars be looking fantastic, I think. And that's what it looks like underneath. Obviously the volcanoes are still standing out. We've got a lot of ocean in the north and south, like how it would have in reality with the elevation. And yeah, I've got to say Mars, easy one of my favourites, so probably my favourite I've done so far. And then lastly, moving on to the asteroid belt Ceres, the final object that we did last episode. So here it is. So it kept its original surface because Ceres has quite a weird surface texture, but it's got a nice sort of greenish ocean going on. It's a very tropical looking green ocean with Ceres. So there is Ceres, guys. Cool. So that's the inner solar system in last episode. So now we are moving to the outer solar system. So first stop, Jupiter. And as you can see immediately, that habitable zone is nowhere near the orbit of Jupiter. So we're going to have to do some serious changes to Jupiter to get this in shape. But what we need to do first as well is we also need to add some moons to Jupiter as well. Because in theory, Jupiter needs to have those 4 major moons. So what we're going to need to do here is got to add them. So what we need to do with Jupiter first is we've got to replace. Now this could be a bit tricky, this is, because there's a lot of obviously insignificant objects. So we're going to have to manually delete those. And that could be a bit troublesome. So there it is. So there's Jupiter. Cool. Right, and then obviously what we need to do as well, we need to go ahead and add the moons. So there you go. So I've obviously got all the 4 Galilean moons. They're the only moons we're interested in. So what we need to do here is we need to go to chart mode, go to radius. We need to go all the way down here. And we've got to delete all of the insignificant objects, basically, because they're not relevant to us anyway. So, I mean, everything past Hygeia. I mean, we don't need any of these, to be honest. So what we need to simply do is just select them all. I mean, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything in there. But yeah, we don't need any of those. So Juno. Okay, so basically everything out of this. Just scrap all that. I really hope I didn't delete anything I wasn't supposed to there. Let's just have a quick look. So we've got Mercury. Oh, so yeah, all the inner planets are all fine. There's the moon. Ceres is down there. That's the smallest. Okay, cool. And I believe that's everything. So we've got asteroid orbiting the sun. Okay, so they're orbiting the sun anyway. High G. Okay, cool. So I believe that's everything. And then obviously the Galilean moons are now added into the simulation. So where are we? So Europa's bigger than there it is. So there's Europa, slightly smaller than the moon. Io, Callisto, and then Ganymede, obviously larger than Mercury. So we've got all the Galilean moons in here now, around Jupiter. So looking good. But first of all, before we get to the moons, Jupiter itself, what we need to do is straight away, all that hydrogen has got to go. So this is all, we're getting rid of all of that. So that's all going. Get out of here. And there it is. So that's what's left of the mighty Jupiter. So it's still got one mass. That's fine. Just going to check the orbits still will function correctly. Yes, they do. Okay, so Jupiter. Obviously, we're going to need a lot of changes here. We've got a very barren core underneath. All the hydrogen is gone. So what we need to simply do straight up is Jupiter. ATM. We're going to go to 1. So where are we? So ATM. Go straight up to 1.2. Actually, go a little different. So 1.2 ATM. And then immediately, atmosphere layers. I mean, we're going to need to go to some seriously high levels here, because obviously the atoll zone is there, so we need to slowly increase this. As you see, increase the atmosphere layers. We need to do it enough for Jupiter to be in that green zone. So we're going to try and have it around there, see how that sorts itself out. We should start to see changes immediately. Put it to 0 degrees. That's not what I had in mind, Jupiter. Why are you glowing hot? What is that all of? What are you doing, man? What is that? It's still getting cold. Warm up. What is that all about? Jupiter, come on, let's give it a... What? Oh, I don't know why Jupiter's... That's very strange. What is that? So, we still need more, though, to get it into the positive temperatures. So, we're going to go up a little bit more. So, maybe into the redder areas. Hopefully that'll... No, it's still not having it. So what is this all about? I don't know why Jupiter's having such a ridiculous... thing there. That is so strange. We're going to the red zone now. That should easily be enough to warm her up. Come on, go to 0 degrees, Jupiter. There you go. That's what we want to see. Okay, so we'll let Jupiter sort of sort itself out. I don't know why it's doing that. That's so strange. What if we add some... just going to add a bit of iron to it as well. So it should have an iron core. Just deep down there anyway. Okay. So Jupiter's sorted itself out. I don't know what it's doing. That is very, very bizarre. Obviously, atmosphere. We're going to go with a... We'll try and keep the original colour of Jupiter, so we'll keep with that orange. Opacity, obviously we'll work on that once the object actually cools down. For I don't know why it's doing that. That is so strange. But yeah, Jupiter. And we'll give it its trail as well. Alright, so let's just let time play out. Let's just see what Jupiter's doing, because is it going to cool? There you go. Okay, cool down, Jupiter. Come on, man. It does look pretty awesome the way it looks right now, though, I have to say. Why is it at minus 250 degrees? That is so weird. So I think what we're going to need to do is, I think we may have to reopen the simulation, because I don't know what it's doing here. I mean, this is very, very strange. I mean, I don't know why the temperature says 4,000 there. I don't know. That is so weird. So what we'll do is we'll quickly save and reopen, because we've got everything up to date anyway. So save. And I'm hoping that will just hopefully make it come to its senses, really. So let's do this. Okay. Let's go to it. As I'm hoping that just a reboot of the sim should hopefully fix any weird stuff. So let's just let it cool down now. I don't know what it's doing though. That is so strange. 0 degrees. So every time I put it to 0, it sort of warms up again. That is so weird. So let's just let Jupiter calm itself down a bit. Let's just let some time... Just let the damn thing cool down. Let's just get rid of that. Okay. Right. So there it is. So that's Jupiter now. Right. So if we have a look as well, so atmosphere, obviously opacity, we can change that. Opacity, go up or down. So we'll go with just that for now. So I do want to try and keep its original orange colour. That would be nice. So, okay. So, what is it? So it's stuck at minus 270. So what do we actually need to do to get this to actually warm up? Let's see. So, albedo, we'll try and lower that. I mean, atmosphere mass, we'll put it just to 1 Earth straight up. Let's see how that does. Maybe, Right, so keep an eye on this. See, what's weird as well, it says no surface temperature data for Jupiter. So why is it doing that? Is it because it's a gas giant? See, I don't know why. What's that all about? Why is it saying that? Because it's a rocky planet. It should register as a rocky planet now. So I don't know why it's doing that. If I increase the atmosphere layers a bit, if I put it into... I mean, will that give it enough? I mean... If I put it to 0 degrees, it will warm it up again. See, that is so strange how it does that. I don't know why Jupiter is doing that. That is beyond bizarre. But I think what we may have to do is actually just replace it with a random rocky planet and just call it Jupiter, because this is so bizarre. I don't know why Jupiter's planning to do that. I mean, let's just try adding some water to it, see how we do that. So let's go with material. We've already got water selected here. Maybe we just need a few bits of water. Maybe a bit of water. Well, that's just giving it surface. Maybe it just needed water. Maybe that's all it needs to fix it. So, oh, now it's 859 degrees. So maybe that's sorted it out. So now what we'll do is we'll actually tune it down to where we need to be. So we'll go to surface, and let's just lower this to obviously back to the green zone. So let's just somewhere there. Let's see how that plays. Maybe because it's obviously become, maybe it was a gas giant. It needs to register as a rocky planet in the game. So once you add some water to it, maybe that will make it recognise it has surface layers now. So that looks to have done the trick, I'm hoping. So we'll see how Jupiter sorts itself out. So let's just cool it down. Let time play out. There you go. There you go. That's looking better already. So we just need to get it obviously to where we want it. So let it play out. So it's still 300 degrees. So I think we still need to have a slight, give it a, maybe an albedo increase. Just to get it, cool it down. Let's just go for a big value just to really cool it down. Let's make it reflect everything. Get it down into a good temperature. We're doing multiple years of Jupiter orbits here, so it is taking its time. So maybe we do need a little more. A little less atmosphere, but I mean it's 100 albedo, or 1.0 albedo, so it should just go all the way down here. But now what I'm going to do is, as we are starting to approach the cooler temperatures, I'm going to lower the albedo. I think we need to also lower the layers, because I think there's way too many still going on here. So something like that. And just get Jupiter in the correct area. It looks like we threw too much water on it, so we need to lower that as well. Greenhouse effect 190 degrees. Yeah, we do not want to see that. So it looks like we're slowly but surely getting there. So let's just go a little further. Just keep sure the moon stay in check as well. Okay, come on Jupiter. Come on, just a bit more. We'll lower that a bit more, down to 45. Into the blue, more the blue zone now. Just need it around that 20 degree mark. It's roughly where we want to be aiming. Okay. Okay, so that looks like it's sorting itself out, so we'll keep an eye on that. It looks like we get some frozen areas starting to appear now as well, so that's looking good. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll simply slow things down properly, get rid of that. So here is Jupiter in all of its glory. So what we need to straight away do is, that is way too thick for my liking still. So just have a pale atmosphere. Well, there's no clouds. Come on, let's get some clouds in here, Jupiter, come on. There you go. There you go. That's what we want to see. So Jupiter's already looking good. Right. So, straight away, this water. We need to lower the water. Whoa, what's going on here? Whoa. Hello. Okay, so we've got some land. Let's just lower it a bit more. Maybe it's a little too much. No, I think we need a little more water. Somewhere there. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Right, so the surface is starting to appear. Water. I'm going to give it a nicer bluish shade. Yeah, something like that. Maybe just something like that, I think, for Jupiter. Ice. Nah, just leave it alone. I'm just going to leave the ice alone. City lights, we'll go with orange. That's Jupiter's colour. Okay. Now, down here. So, let's go with a paler green. Or maybe a sandy yellow. I do like to have quite a sandy sort of look to them. It says this is all high elevation then. It's not letting me change the colour of that. So why is that? Snow. It's snow, okay. That's why. Don't know why there's snow, but it's snow. So that's all just frozen at the moment. Interesting. So if I take the snow off, this is what it actually looks like underneath. So that's what we want to aim for. So what colours are we looking for here? So it is very dark. We'll give it that. I mean, look, it is very, very dark actually. I think its elevation's weird as well because it's a gas giant, or it was a gas giant. I think the elevation on it has been basically all messed up. So I think what we need to do is we need to increase the elevation on the surface here. So if we go down here, and there is a button to do this. Let's see if I can recognise where it is. No. There's nothing there. Elevation. Yes. So I have a slight little play with this. And there you go. Immediately you can start to see some changes. So it's all about finding that perfect balance. If I increase the elevation up, that apparently buries it in water. I don't know what that's all about. So if I lower it, let's try and get it in the a good area. It's strange how that works actually, the elevation button there. So let's actually just get all the clouds and stuff out of the way. It's atmosphere clouds. So that's what we're looking like at the moment. So I think we do have a little too much water still on it for the really let you just show. But there you go. I think that's looking better now. And then we can actually see the different shades. So let's see how that's looking. So we got greenish there. I don't know why it's so dark. It feels so dark here. I don't know why that's the case. Because the atmosphere is switched off. So we can't actually see the atmosphere at the moment. So I don't know why it's doing that. And that is strange. So I don't know what. Yes, even if you turn the atmosphere on, it seems very, very. But as soon as I turn it up, it's fine. But it seems like the surface itself appears very dark. I don't know. No idea what the cause of that actually is. But anyways, we'll just have to roll with it. So let's just sort of see. And then snow. I don't know what the snow is all about. It's a little weird, but it looks like it's sort of showing up a little better now. So solid surface. So anyways, colours. So I'm going to go with the sandy yellow. I do like the sandy yellow. I think it blends quite well here. Low elevation again. Go for just sandy yellow, and then the high elevation. That's where we're going to go with the sort of tree, sort of green, something like that. Watercolor though, that is looking. Ugh. Let's go back to realistic water. There you go. Maybe just a tad brighter, but that's about it. Okay, Jupiter. I've got to say, it came out quite disappointing. For me, personally, I think that Jupiter's been quite a disappointing one. It's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. It's very, very strange. Opacity. I mean, maybe we could keep it so it still has its sort of gassy sort of look to it. So it has that thicker sort of. So it's still got a bit of that atmosphere going on. Red clouds. I mean, it did have a red spot at one point, but not anymore. I think maybe some thicker clouds for Jupiter as well. Maybe to keep it, because it was a gas giant originally. I think it should still keep some of that original sort of. I mean, Jupiter's all about storms, so we're going with storms. Storms and fluffy clouds. I think that's a nice combo there. There you go. So it still has that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to melt all on this button here. I'm going to press that. I'm going to see how that sorts itself out now. Okay. Cool. And so I'm going to lower that just to. There you go. Okay, so see how that deals with it. So you can see it's got a good amount of land going on there. So we're going to have to see how Jupiter turns out. So we're going to leave Jupiter alone. Move on to the moons. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it could be worse, but it is colonised at the end of the day. That's what we wanted to go for, so good. Right, Io, first of the Galilean moons. What we need to do with you, straight away, atmosphere. So we're going to go up to 180 m. That's very dim. Yeah, that's the opacity, isn't it? It's blacked out. So we're going to go Io. It's going to keep its toxic yellow sort of shade. So we'll have that for now. So a proper shade there. Something like that. Okay. Now, adding water. I'm a little conscious of this because I don't know if Io has enough mass to really hold on to this. So, material, yes. So I don't know how this is going to work with Io. I don't know if Io can hold on to this. But we're going to throw some water on him now. Let him warm up. And I'll see ATM. 180 m. Infrared will turn you up. Right, okay, where are we in the habitable zones? So, go over here. It's nowhere near where we need to be, so we're going to go up to 1 straight up. Times it up. Pull it into the somewhere there. Io's already a rocky world, so it should be able to hold on to temperature a lot easier than the way Jupiter was doing it. So we'll see how Io sort of sorts itself out now. Don't know what's going on there. But let's just increase it a bit more. Just give Io what it needs. Just put it to 5 degrees, maybe that'll why is it getting dark? Oh, it's because behind Jupiter, isn't it? So there you go. So, see how Io copes with that for now. Also going to throw some more water just in the south as well. There's spots on the water on the surface as well, just random areas there. I mean, if Io just cooperates the whole time, that would be nice. So let's just see how that sorts itself out. So we've got a few patches of ocean here. So let's just let that sort itself out. Okay, cool. And we'll also go to clouds. So it's all weird how the objects have them all sort of defaulted to nothing. So they are now going to keep its sort of sulfuric sort of appearance. So we're going to keep the black clouds. Well, not the black clouds. So we're going to keep the slightly more golden clouds. But what I'm going to do as well is Io is obviously volcanic. So we're going to make the snow appear. Well, ice and snow is going to have a very mysterious shade, a dark shade, and then water. Now, how do I want water to appear on Io? Just maybe just a tad lighter blue. See how that appears. I do not want to keep shooting water at him either. So that's what we got so far on Colonized Io. There's some material in the sky. Let's get rid of that. So Colonized Io around Colonized Jupiter. It's looking interesting. Actually, I quite like the way Io looks. Actually, I think it looks cool with its yellowy shade to it. So don't know why it's stuck at 5 degrees. I'll put it to 10, but I don't know if it can just stick to doing that. I mean, let's just let time speed up, see if it does anything. But if it just sits at 10 degrees, I mean, that's perfectly fine with me if it does that. So, okay. Interesting. So, next up, okay, we'll leave Io the way it is. Europa. Right, now Europa's easy because it's already made of water. We've got plenty of water, there's plenty of water on it, so all we need to do is warm it up. And then that's job done. It'll be an all-ocean world, no problems there at all. So, go straight to surface, ATM, go to 1 on Earth, try and have it as good temp. We'll go 0.9 actually, just to change things up. 0.9, there you go. We do not want that greyed out. See, it's just weird how all the moons have defaulted atmosphere colours like that, so let's tune that down. We want to immediately go for, have a nice bluish shade. Go over like a nice earth blue actually, so something like that. Clouds, obviously we'll have turn clouds up. Right, now what we want to do here is all about the temperature of Europa, so I'm hoping Europa will hold on. Europa has been one in the past where it doesn't like holding on to its water, so we'll see how that does its see how that works. So we're going to go immediately out to here. We should start to see some temperature. Maybe lower that, keep it in the green zone. We're going to just immediately put it to 10 degrees. And then what we need to do as well is I need to press the that's the issue. Europa is always one that does this. It's been like it since the beginning of the time of Universe Sandbox. It's always been an issue of Europa. It always loses its material. And the problem is its mass. So what we're going to simply do is we're going to give it a slight little tweak. So I'm going to times it up a bit. I'm hoping this doesn't upset the other moon orbits, but I'm going to do that. And that immediately fixes it. See, it's very strange how Europa does that. But melt it all, and there you go. And that's it. Europa, it doesn't have land. It's already got water on it for us. We do not need to do any modifications to it. And there's Europa, an all-ocean world. Looking good. So, fluffy clouds. Maybe we have some thicker clouds in the other area there. Fluffy will go to turbulent, maybe? Yeah. Sparse. No way. Streaks. Yeah, maybe. Streaks and wispy? Maybe, no, wispy and turbulent, maybe? What if I go so what is turbulent actually? That's turbulent. Turbulent and turbulent? Double turbulent? Yeah, why not? It's an all-ocean world. There it goes, all precisely built for us. I'm just going to keep an eye on its orbit, because I'm just a little concerned that its orbit, increasing the mass, may upset the orbits of the other moons, so we do need to be just a little careful of that. But Jupiter's still got one mass of Jupiter, so it shouldn't have too many issues, I have to say, so I think we should be okay there. Maybe just a slightly more bluish cloud, just a tad bluer. There you go, and then atmosphere, just make you slightly bluer as well. But again, Europa, no modification needed to atmosphere or anything. It's already fully water for us. We do not need to add any water to it. It's got plenty of water on it already. So there you go. And then maybe a bit more atmosphere. Nah, I think it's fine the way it is, to be honest. I mean, something like that. I mean, it already comes very nicely built for us, Europa. So nicely done. And then what we'll do is, doesn't even need city lights because it's all water anyway. And then interface, nice blue. And then Io, obviously Io's already got its yellow shade, so we'll just buff it up a bit more. How's Jupiter doing as well? That's one I want to keep an eye on. So Jupiter, still a little frozen. See, I don't know. There's a lot of ice on it. Now, why is that the case? I mean, it's -20. Oh, okay. So what we need to do with Jupiter? Needs a little more temperature.
So let's see here. So we're going to buff this up. So it's currently on 46. We're going to go up to 50. 54. There we go. It's an 8 increase. Let's just see if Jupiter slowly sorts itself out. So we do want to see it a little warmer than that. So how are we doing? Come on, Jupiter, a little more than that, please. Come on, give us a little more. 0 degrees. No, it's still not having it. No, Jupiter. Oh no, it is. No, there you go. Because remember, Jupiter's orbit does vary. At some points it's closer to the sun, other points it's further away from the sun. So it's all about trying to find the balance where it can stay in that positive temperature area. So let's see here. I think it needs a little more kick to it, actually. There you go. That's gonna. Okay, so we'll see how Jupiter sorts itself out there. It's on the edge of the red zone. We'll see how he does it. Okay, so there's Jupiter. Oh yeah, because we switched off. Right. Okay. Next up, it looks like the moons are okay. Ganymede, the largest of the Galilean moons. So this one should already be perfectly nice for us. So what we need to simply do with Ganymede, again, atmosphere straight on it. First step as always. So straight to we'll go over, try and go for a really good replica of Earth build here. That's got to go straight away. Get that opacity out of here. Go for a nice pale blue shade to begin with. Okay, and then obviously switch the clouds on. There you go. Right, Ganymede. The other moons are looking really cool as well. Right, anyways, water. Now Ganymede, let's go over like an equator. Sort of splash them around the equator, see where Ganymede sort of sorts itself out over a long period of time. So let's have something like that. Then we'll have a bit in the north, a bit in the south. So see how Ganymede sorts himself out there. And there's a few other spots around it as well, around here. So we'll see how Ganymede sorts herself out. So there you go. Right, looking good already. That's all about temperature now. Just get it up to speed. So we'll just go straight down here. Atmosphere layer. Set the infrared up. We'll go straight to 50. I think that's probably an appropriate area. So yeah, in the green. Get it a little more closer to the red. There you go. Somewhere there. Put it to 0 degrees. See where it does. Getting cold already. Okay, we do not want that. So we need to again increase up. Get it into the red zone. So somewhere there. Is that enough to get Ganymede going? 5 degrees. Maybe it's like the other Galilean moons. Maybe you just input a value and it gets stuck. I mean, that would be the dream if it does, because that will keep it. It's like a temperature lock. So I mean, that's good. Anyway, Ganymede. City lights, yes please. Right, snow and ice, water. We'll go over. Ooh, that's insane. Okay. Something like that for Ganymede. Just a slightly different shade of water. Make it a little more interesting. Slightly tune it down there. Don't want it too bright. But there it is. So there's Ganymede. And then what we can do with Ganymede is go with do that. Surface colours. We can customize this. So let's go with a deep green. That does not look right. Sandy yellow. Then a high elevation. Also have it as a sort of darkened green. So there's Ganymede. What do you think of that? So it's looking quite tropical here, but there it is. I'm liking it. And then look underneath. So that's what we've got underneath at the moment. So it's quite sandy. Obviously got a bit of green going on as well, but yeah, pretty sandy looking world. Got some city lights to go over as well. Obviously got quite a weird load of ocean on the equator as well. So it's just a little increase over something like that. So just slightly decreases. So there's Ganymede. Atmosphere on, clouds on. I've got to say, I'm very, very happy with the way that's turned out. I think that one looks really good, actually. So, colonize Ganymede. Looking great, actually. I really do like the way that's turned out. Clouds. I mean, just have some different values in here. Go some wispy clouds on Ganymede. We'll go wispy and streaks. Or wispy. What about double wispy? Wispy. There you go. Cool. Nice. There's Ganymede. Very happy with the way that's turned out. What's going on with Europa here? Why is the atmosphere off? Oh, the clouds are off. There we go. Cool. Slightly do that as well. Don't know what that orbit's all about. It's probably because we changed the mass on it, but it's still sitting in there perfectly fine. 0.1 Earth. So, I mean, that's not enough to cause any disruptions. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Jupiter's also still the dominant object for quite a while. So there we go. And then next up, Callisto, the final of the moons. Here we are. Cool. So, Callisto. Surface, immediately we go into atmosphere. Earth ATM, we're going to go to 1.1. Get rid of the darkened out atmosphere once more. Let's do that. Tune that down. Callisto, we'll go over deeper blue. Atmosphere, why not? Go over a nice sort of strong blue shade, so something like that. And immediately, got to go for infrared up. Atmosphere layers, I think we need around 55, isn't it? Somewhere, keep it in the warmth. Somewhere around there. Something like that. Okay. Then obviously what we'll do is add some water to this guy. So let's do this. So add a big chunk of water around this side. Oh, that's a bit weird. Oh god, get it. Oh, we're going way too quick here. Let's slow down simulation speed. Get that out of here. There you go, Callisto. So I've got a big amount of water on one side. Could make for some interesting design. There we go. Just have it all on one side. See how Callisto sorts himself out. Okay, cool. There we are. So we'll let it sort itself out. So I have about half and half. Half water on one side. Maybe it hasn't got water so much on the other side. So do that. I will just give it a little click. One click of minus just to let it. Yeah, okay. See how he does it. CC lights on. Go for deep blue. There you are. Okay. Clouds are on. Get those up to speed as well, and then down here to the interface, yeah, whatever, and then surface colors. Okay, right. Callisto. So we can go over deep sort of dark forest here. Got some deep greens, and keep it somewhere around there. So it keeps it. I want to keep some of that original grey there because it's got that sort of rocky design to it. So gonna keep it with that. I'm liking the way that's looking. Well, actually, I really like the way that's looking. Actually, I think Callisto's looks great. That's what it looks like underneath. You can still see the craters are there. Obviously, got a bit of the green buried in there too. Maybe if I make this more of a green and then make one of these more greyed out. No, that does nowhere near look as good. So I think this needs to stay as the greenish grey. That's going to be a darker sort of green, I think. Maybe I go back with the. So low elevation fills up those areas. That can make... Okay, yes, I'll keep that as a sandy sort of yellow, actually. I like the way that's appearing. Okay. Then we've got the deep green there. And then the more greyish green over here. Yeah, okay. It's looking good. And then water again, just to slightly make things a little different. A darker shade of water. Cool. And I do think we need some more water on this side, actually. There's none at all. So we're going to go with some nice bits of water. Hey, what are you doing? Slow down time. Get out of here. Oh, god damn it. Every time I do... delete all the particles and it takes my camera away. That's really annoying. Okay, yeah, I do think we need some water here. So we're going to go over random sort of spots on Callisto. Sort of sort itself out. A bit higher amount in the north there. Okay, there you are, Callisto. How you doing there? Let's see how that sorts itself out. Cool. Yeah, okay. Got some patches going on there. I think maybe some more water here just to link the oceans up. So slow it down again. Okay, so I think we need some sort of here, just to sort of link that ocean up a bit. So, okay, we'll see how that sorts itself out. So we've got some different islands going on. Okay, cool. And let's apply the atmosphere and everyone back on. So there you go. Okay, what do you think of that? Callisto colonized. Done. So, there we are. So, that's all of Jupiter's moons colonized. And the whole Jupiter system... Okay, so how's Jupiter doing itself? So, it's still warming up. Okay, so it's still sorting itself out. So, we'll let Jupiter do its thing. Still got its thick sort of clouds to go with it as well. So, it was obviously a gas giant originally. So, it's still going to have a bit of that atmosphere left. Cool. So, there you go. That's the Jupiter system colonized. So, what do you think of that? I got to say, I'm very pleased with the way that's turned out. I think that's looking really, really good. So, there we are, guys. So, let's just slow it all down. Go through a lineup of them all. So now Saturn is the largest planet because Jupiter's obviously rocky now. So there it is, keeping it sort of orange sort of colour, rocking with it as well. I think what I'll do is finishing touches. So atmosphere is keeping the original orange. I think the clouds though, I'm going to have them as a more bluish shade. just to sort of show that earthly sort of colours are there. So the blue clouds on the orange atmosphere there. So it's showing it is developing. Let me just make those a little thinner as well. Don't want it so deep orange. I do want to keep it sort of orange shade still going, so keep it alive. There you are. Okay, cool. It's past planet 9 onto the moons. So there's Venus. Wait. So Mars. Europa is now the largest of the moons. I think it's probably because I didn't lock the radius. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I wasn't meant to do that. So we're going to put that to density. You're going to lock the mass, but the radius needs to go lower. That's not what I wanted to do. So it needs to be smaller than the moon. So it needs to be there. There you go. That's better. That's where Europa should be sitting. So apologies for that. Yeah, no, it needs to be smaller than the moon. The moon is larger. So around there. There you go. We'll leave it at that. Cool. Right. So moons. Ganymede. Liking the way Ganymede's looking. Hey, where's my water? Oi, water. What's happened to Ganymede's water, everyone? Oi, so it's losing it. Okay, interesting. So we need to actually go back and fix that. But that's it with its water on. So that's how it should be looking, basically. If I press play, then it's losing that water. So we need to actually sort that out. There's Mercury, Callisto, Io. So Io's actually lost it as well. So we need to fix that. So that's probably because it hasn't got the mass to hold on to it. So yeah, that needs fixing. And then Europa will be fine because we've already sorted that one. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and add the mass that they need. So again, we'll go density, lock the radius, but then this needs to times up to 0.1 Earth is usually enough. Ganymede again, same protocol with you. So yeah, it's already got the size Ganymede, but it just doesn't have the mass. So we're going to immediately double. So that should hopefully fix her. And then Callisto again. I mean, I don't think we need to do much here. So we haven't really let the simulation play out yet, but again, just in case, go up to 0.144. So I still think Ganymede should be the largest of them all, so we'll try and make that a reality. So there you go. Okay, right. I'm just hoping that doesn't upset the moons. That's the problem. I do not want it doing anything to the orbit. So actually, I'm going to save it while we got it all in the correct area. And if it does decide to go berserk, we can actually fix it. So save that. Okay, cool. Right, anyways, on to just finishing touches. So, Io, you need to have your water back. It's very annoying it did remove it, but that should be what we're after. So, there you go. Ah, it's filling up different areas, though. Ah, what? No, get out of here. I want the areas I filled in. It was looking perfect that way. Okay, slow down time. We'll have to manually add it back. So, I throwed most of it in the south, didn't I? A big chunk of water in the south for Io. Then we had some bits in the north as well. Oh, that may be a little too much water. Let's lower that down a bit. Oh, what's that over there? Get out of here. Still got a bit of missing areas over here. Let's fill that in. Okay. Something like that. I think that's looking better. Okay. Cool. Where's that big red crater gone? Have we buried it? No, I'm not showing. That's the cool looking area. Where's that red crater? That big red circle gone? There it is. I don't want that buried. That's the cool looking bit. Let's just reset. I'll try that again. So that's so annoying. The water. Ugh. Right, there you go. Just wanna spray it there. I'm gonna have some random sort of patches in the middle as well. Link that up to the ocean. Okay. There's the red patch. I want to keep that area there because that looks cool. So, there you go. Alright, we'll see how that sorts itself out now. And then just lower it just a bit more. A little too much water still. But something like that is what I'm looking for. It's annoying because the original way I'd done it was looking good. So it's really annoying that's done that. And removed all the water. So I didn't want it to do that, so let's try and get it where we're good. It's still filling that area up though. That's really, really frustrating, that is. So let's try again. Just take it just nice and slowly. And then back in the north again. Fill the north up actually quite a lot, so have a nice sort of spread up there. And just a few sort of patches around here as well. Just a bit of a lake going on there. So I think I'm gonna lower that, and actually lower the mass a bit as well. Okay. Is that better? Is it buried that red area again? Oh man, what is that? That's so weird. So annoying. I'm sure I didn't have it buried earlier though, so very, very. There it is. It keeps filling that bit up, so that's weird. Let me if I just remove it. Okay, so that's it there. So I do not want that area getting filled up whatsoever. So I wanted to show. So it's over there. It was perfect. Let's just completely avoid that area. Fill this side up then. Now we'll go to the north. Fill the north up. Get a nice spray of water there. Okay. So let's see how that looks. There it is. Yeah. Okay, we want it shown. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. Let's just lower that. Just lower it a bit more. Just a few patches there. Yes. There. So the red, that area is still showing. That's what I want. And then I'm just going to lower the water a bit more. This water needs to go because it could hit some of the other objects. And I do not want it doing that. But there's Io. So looking good the way it is. I'm going to leave him alone. Right. Europa. That should already be fine. That's all ocean anyway. So there you go. 13 degrees. Ganymede. Oh, Ganymede's got his ocean still as well. Okay, cool. So that's... Oh, yeah, because we've added it back anyway, didn't we? So let's just lower it a bit, though. Do want a bit of surface there. Okay. Yep, that's fine. I'll leave that to sort itself out. And then Callisto, I think that's already fine as well. So that should be everything. Why is it minus 158 degrees? What's going on there? Oi. We added your atmosphere on. Come on. What is that all about? Callisto. Warm yourself up, man. 0 degrees. There you go. Don't know why it's doing that. How are we doing on temperatures on the other guys? So that's 11. They're 13, and your Io is 11. Good. And Jupiter itself. Okay. Yep. So that's slowly warming up still. I'm still just not convinced on these. I don't know why it's so dark here. I don't know what's causing that. But Jupiter just appears so dark. I mean, look, that. Why is it so dark? I mean, what if I go to flashlight? Yeah, so flashlight lights it up a bit, but I mean, it's still appearing very dark to me. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, very, very bizarre. Clouds. I'm actually just going to dim the opacity of these a bit. Lower the coverage, maybe. Opacity down a bit. Increase the coverage. And atmosphere on. Which is still too thick for my liking, so I'm going to lower that down. So Jupiter just doesn't look right. I don't know, it's very strange. I don't know why it's so dark here. It's just appearing really, really dark. I don't know why that's the case. It's very strange. If anyone knows why, please let me know. I think it's because we converted it from a gas giant. I think that's probably why it's doing it. And it's just, yeah, very, very frustrating. So, yeah, I have no idea why it's doing that. And it's, yeah, that is really, really annoying. Yeah, I don't know. But it's still got its storm clouds. See, it just appears so damn dark. I want the green to sort of show a bit more, but it's not really letting me. Not really letting me have a go at doing that. I mean, if I take all this off again. See, look, why is it so dark? I don't get it. See, what we could do is just make the water really bright. So something like that, I guess. The surface still appears so dark though. I don't know why that. There's no colour here selected as black, so I don't know why it's dark. Why it's so dark. We'll keep that as green. Keep that as white, and then this shade here doesn't really do anything. So what is that dark area? Why is it blacked out there? See, I don't know why it's doing that. Very, very peculiar. But anyways, I'm going to leave Jupiter the way he is. There you go. That's still colonised. That's what our goal was at the end of the day. So there you go. Okay, cool. Jupiter, done. So that's the Jupiter system, guys. So let me know your thoughts, opinions on that. I've got to say, Jupiter, very, very disappointing the way that's turned out. I don't know why it's so dark. But the moons, on the other hand, I think they look great. So, again, we'll go on a quick overview of them all. So, Io. It says Io. Very happy with the way that's looking now. Oh, it's covered up that area again. Why? It's just the water. Let's lower the water down a bit. That's looking better already.
Yeah, it's because I think the water just naturally fills up the lower elevation areas, so I don't think there's much we can do about that, so we'll just leave that alone. That's just annoying, but oh well. Europa, again, all ocean, nothing needs to be seen there. Ganymede, really like the way that's looking, I think that's looking great. And then lastly, Callisto over here. So, maybe a little too much going on there. Yeah, I think there's a little too much water, and we can't see everything. That's looking better, okay. Yeah, because Callisto's got a weird elevation because its surface has been just smashed into oblivion, so there's just lots of elevation changes everywhere. So there's no really set zone at an ocean would spawn, really. So, yeah, Callisto's going to be quite a weird one. It's got, like, patches of water everywhere, but, I mean, that's the best you can do, really, because Callisto's surface is very, very bizarre, and it's just cratered to oblivion. So, yeah, we'll leave him like that, because that's really what we can do with him. So, clouds back on, there you go, there's Callisto. Nice. Cool. Still minus 9 degrees though, so that's weird how he's doing that. So I think it just needs a bit more on albedo. We'll lower the albedo, but I think it just needs a bit more on the on here. So we're gonna go up to about 81. There we go. We'll let that sort itself out next episode. But yeah, there we are. So that does it for part 2 of colonizing the whole solar system, guys. So that is the Jupiter system done as well. So what do you think of that? So that's obviously all out in the green zone of the Capital zone now, so there we go. Go ahead and save that, see how that sorts itself out next time. But yeah, there we are, guys. But again, like I said, if you've got any tips, tricks, feedback, let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, that all said and done, guys, make sure you have a great day, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.